earlier about how the Treants, they give very little gold. Even the extra large ones, I think, what was it, like 18 to 24 gold a piece?
Yeah, it can be a little weak for sure, but I think what's crucial is that normally, well, we'll see if there's a little fight here for bounties. No, not gonna be much. Normally what happens when you gank with Prophet, you're adding damage mostly to this gank. But most mid heroes, like Void Spirit's the perfect example. When he ganks side lanes, he has Disable, he has Gap Close, he has Nuke, he can protect himself. Prophet's a little bit more finicky, and that's part of the reason that he's not as effective as a mid hero. Yeah, once you get Orchid, obviously it's very impactful to show up, but like until he gets Orchid 15 minutes in, or whatever other item he chooses to go for, his gank is going to be a little bit weirder, so we'll see if Pikachu can make something good happen with it. So I'm curious to see how it works out.
So my other question, too, was the fact that, you do have this Nature's Prophet sitting mid, and he, it's all about, pushing out these waves, getting towers early. Are we going to see him rotate, or do you think we're going to see the Nyx Assassin make his way over early and try to slow down Gwynblythe here?
Yeah, they definitely could do pressure on the Void Spirit, but that's what's the nice thing about Prophet, that it's really easy for him to gank sidelines as long as he's got a TP ready. Because all he's doing is spending one skill point to teleport somebody somewhere, then after surviving or getting a kill, he can teleport back to the mid lane. So he'll be able to pressure constantly, but also show up for potential ganks. And I think the heroes that are maybe likely to get ganked is probably Shadow Shaman, the 4-position hero if he gets gone on, or Naga Siren, or the Death Prophet. Those are the heroes he's going to be looking to pressure, but maybe he'll do fine in the mid lane. Right now, Void Spirit's doing excellent, great last hitting so far.
I feel like a lot of it, we talked about having the Naga kind of struggle, but at the same time, you need to be very aware of this Axe because he is going to be making the tempo along with the Void Spirit. So, I mean, who's your bigger target? Is it better to slow down the one that's going to come online fastest, or...?
I mean, you can try to shut down an Axe in lane, but you have to be a little bit careful how it works out. Obviously, if you're playing very well on Axe, he's like one of those heroes that's like kind of dangerous, right? Like if you don't succeed on your gank, he usually like heavily punishes you immediately afterwards. So as long as his lane is going okay, it's not that bad. So I guess I'd just be more concerned about Void Spirit, because until Axe gets Blink Dagger, unless he like is really stomping his lane, I'm not as worried about him.
Okay. Definitely a fair point, as Bignum gets the kill on Eknar's courier. Is going to miss the Naga's courier, though. But they might be able to put a little bit of damage here. We've got plenty of stuns in this lane between the Nyx Assassin and the Sand King here, and it's a lot of damage, actually. Spirit Siphon, though, is a great skill. We'll be able to keep Eknar alive here. Do you have another stun coming up, though? Oh.
They played that really well, actually. It might have looked like they were only half-assing it, but like that was the first Spirit Siphon for Death Prophet. She used it, they disengage right away so that she doesn't get full heal, and now she just has to go back to base. How often do you see a 5-position do this right now in a game?
You don't want to see them do that.
You do not. Smiley Knight is going to zone the Sand King a little bit here, because he's gone Caustic and Burrow Strike, so he can't just hide under the Sandstorm. That's a little unfortunate, actually. That Caustic Finale didn't seem to proc on the Naga illusions. Did not know about that interaction. That's going to make this lane a little bit harder for Ghostic here. But once he gets a little bit more stability, I think they'll have a nice advantage in this lane.
Bottom lane, this is not looking super great here for the Shadow Shaman. He's going to get frozen into place. They'll put off a couple hits here. But
they're thinking about going.
I think they're just going to let him go back and just hit the creeps.
Yeah, they could have gotten close to killing him, but he had a Fairy Fire and a 7-stick, so their chances of getting that kill without taking massive damage was low. So they're just going to play it semi-safe. Bracer on Wraith King to start is really straightforward. He'll get boots afterwards on Wraith King, just so he doesn't have to be as careful here. But Shaman's got to be careful. He's certainly the guy that's going to be pressured in this lane.
And it's such a good combination, right? Cold Feet with the any sort of stun always makes it very, very scary when you're a squishy support to go forward. And you do need to be harassing the entire time, but it's a bit difficult when you have this combo.
Yeah, it's a really good. It really makes A much better. And he's even maxing out Cold Feet here.
They're going to go in for the kill here. But Shara standing nearby. Fairy Fire gets used. They just need one more hit. The Skelly Boy's coming in. That's going to be a dead Shaman. It looks like it's going to be a dead Slayer, though, too. He doesn't have any more regen, doesn't have a stick or anything. So Petshara will get his revenge.
Nicely done. And now Ring of Health on Axe basically solidifies his laning stage for, it's not going to be bad at all, because he's going to be able to sustain this. And he's got a Salve, and he's got a Fairy Fire, so I don't really see them pressuring Axe here. This got to genuinely limit Wraith King's ability to lane stabilize, because normally when you play Wraith King, you just kind of pop in, give him a slap, back out, you're life stealing, everything's good. But Axe does so much damage with spin that if you can't like out harass him from range, you're going to have a bad time. But because he's got all this regen already, good luck putting him in a threatening position where Wraith King's going to have an easier time. This looks a little bit rough for Wraith King to really affect his his overall net worth.
Well, mid lane seems to be going a bit better here for the side Nature's Prophet because he's also able to jungle to the side. So he's sitting at 33 and 8. We have teleport coming out. Ghost Stick, though, should be able to go snap up the 5-minute rune here, possibly. They drop a sentry, and he'll still be able to grab it. So Unique grabbing 3 of these. The net's going to come out, though, from Smiling Knight. Ghost Stick has to be careful. Does have the Burrow Strike to run away. Spignum comes back in. Wrath of Nature getting tossed out. They would love to get this kill on Smiling Knight, but they'll cancel out the teleport. Spignum's just going to poke a little bit.
That's a rough one. Ghost Stick actually did not bottle that, so he had a bottle. That's why he committed so hard for that. Really rough that that it got stolen under his nose. But wait, Bignum grabbed it. Okay, so they both fought for it, and Ghost Stick didn't get it. Is that what happened? Oh, that's not good. Unless he got the other one. I don't know. I'm confused why Ghost Stick didn't get the refills bottle. I didn't see who grabbed the other rune. It's been a mistake though, because now Ghost Stick's got to sit back in the lane a little bit here, bringing himself a salve. They're not doing so great in this duel offlane. 14 last hits for Ghost Stick only. He just got zoned pretty heavily by the Naga illusions just because he didn't get Sandstorm until level 3. Maybe they thought that they were going to be better at pressuring this lane, but hard for them to kill the illusions, and now Smiling Knight's just like 3 farming in his lane. Rough.
Well, it feels pretty good if you're an Empire fan. But yeah, you know, the whole idea is that you have to kind of shut them down. We do have a rotation to the bottom lane, though. Looks like they're going to try to put some pressure on Petashara. Open up. The Hex comes out here for Taylor. Gonna get the call off. Getting a couple of these nice spins plus the shackles. Glimblithe joining on in. Has his eyes over here on Palantimos. Down he will go. On the back lines, Bignum also will fall. Slayer was trying to get that final hit off onto Petashara, but he doesn't have enough damage. The Remnant pulling him right back in again, and down goes the Ancient Apparition. Not enough damage for Petashara. Very close here, coming out from Pikachu.
This is the hard thing. He's got a Vanguard, so 50% of the time when you attack him, your attack does 0 damage. Good luck killing him. It's really difficult. His raw HP is massive. He's bought a Raindrop now. He doesn't have boots yet, but he just doesn't care. That's one of those circumstances. You do these rotations and Axe gets kills, and now you put yourself in an even worse position. So rough at this point here for Unique. And so far, the Prophet mid, yeah, he's got levels. He's done an ulti or 2, but we haven't seen him get a part of a gank yet. So right now, with the fact that Sand King's also behind in his laning stage, the strat is not working out the way Unique wanted to.
When do you have to start getting really worried as Unique, right? Because like a lot of this comes down to them having the early aggression, kind of, you know, getting that snowbally pressure.
It doesn't necessarily have to. Like, they still have really good heroes, and obviously AA6 is a big game changer because then it's going to be more straightforward for them to get kills. And one thing I really liked about the Sand King pick is that it gives them another way to initiate. It doesn't have to be Nyx Assassin always jumping in to start fights. Here's a gank top finally coming.
Yeah, looks like they might be able to go and take down Eknard. He's got the Fairy Fire, though. One more hit. Can the trees get it? They need just one more. Down he goes. Pikachu, with his first rotation, will be able to get a kill, and they'll be able to put some pressure on the tower.
This is great, because normally the carry's going to go in jungle. By the way, August Iron bought a Midas.
Yes, I noticed.
The kill on the... So Midas pickup is going to accelerate his farm a lot, keep his levels really high, and then when the support comes in D, it's really easy to dive in the case of Nature's Prophet. So that's great. Getting Prophet into the action is going to be a huge thing. Once he finishes Orchid, that's their next timing, and then getting A in the game with his 6 to pick off some really big core heroes. That's absolutely what they need to do to help stabilize this slightly weaker laning stage.
All right, well... The Battle Hunger tossed out here on Slayer. Palantimos does spot out this Shaman, and they'll have the instant teleport here coming out from the Nature's Prophet. Down will go Sayer. They'll get a call off. They'll drag away over here a little bit. Glimblithe joining on back in again, getting the taunt off over onto Pikachu, but he does have that double damage. The tree's gonna come out. And again, this is a very tanky Axe. Doesn't have those boots quite in his inventory right now, but it looks like he's just fine. It's gonna
That's great pressure. The reason that stun on Axe is so important because he was about to call Prophet, and that would have limited them getting the kill on the Shadow Shaman. So his rotation succeeds. What does he do? He goes right back to hitting creeps. So things are healing a bit here for Unique, and now Nature's Prophet, highest net worth by a decent margin, 600 gold on top of what Void Spirit has done. Void Spirit has had a good game, 3-0-1. So showing the value of a Prophet farming to the max.
I'm getting closer and closer to that Orchid timing here on the side of Unique, so it'll be a bit scary for some of these heroes.
It is really scary. This is like going to be a stupidly fast Orchid. He's only like 1,000, or he's not that far away. He's like 600 gold away from this thing. And if you look over at Void Spirit, he's queuing up the Euls, which he needs to stay alive, but he's got a ways to go. He's got like 1,500 gold, so getting the Orchid this fast, we're going to definitely see a record break here, or at least get close to it.
I mean,
with
at
this
least
Orchid finishing.
At least with the Yules, right, on a Void Spirit, that's pretty standard in their kit. It's not like he's having to go like for a super defensive item necessarily, because it's just nice to set up. It gives you that little extra, you know, mana regen and speed. So I mean,
Yep, and the
it's
it's great in normal, but I'm just saying it's slower than normal than we would normally expect out of a Prophet, because the Prophet's Orchid is so fast.
Right.
His timing now feels slow.
Right.
So it could make a big difference here.
So it's that the Prophet is doing so well, not necessarily that the Void is falling behind. But
exactly. Yep.
Ghost Stick.
They will defend the safe lane in the end. Ghost Stick's going to TP for this. I was a little unsure about this. They had Axe. Obviously, Axe is very scary to deal with, but if Sand King just plants his butt here, does the Sandstorm, he should be covered. I don't see any detection on Shaman either, so his ability, this is one way to take the tower.
Doesn't care about detection, Purge. He's got Serpent Wars. Maybe they can get the denial off. Nope. It's gonna go down for the side of Empire here.
That was really well done, because if they don't commit to that otherwise, like that tower would have stayed alive for a really long time. Now Empire gets to open up the whole jungle. This gives Axe a huge amount of space to finish his Blink Dagger. He's pretty close. He's about 1,000 away. Ghost Stick gonna get spotted.
He burrow strikes away, but he does end up right in that little square. No detection, though, over here on Gwynblith, so he's fine. He's just going to spend a little time over. And they'll put some pressure on the top tower because they've got Skelly Boys, they've got, I don't know what you would call those treants. What are those even?
They're kind of like fly traps with spines.
Those
yeah, they're
are
fly trap-like.
trees. Those are plants.
Well, yeah.
Immersion.
There's mushrooms. There's a lot of plant-related things. It's
True.
fine. Oh, gross.
But
What is
pressure
Radiant?
stun.
Oh, he just bought gloves first to accelerate his farm a bit. Now he's gonna go Radiance.
Orchid is complete now, Purge, and we've got Bignum on the hunt. I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a gank sometime fairly soon, especially if this Death Prophet walks up over here to the high ground again.
Yeah, we'll see who he can find. The downside is that level 1 Vendetta does not last a huge amount of time, so if you miss these opportunities, then it's going to feel a little rough here. But they're wisely playing in this part of the map. This is the right thing to do. Ghost Stick is going to try to defend the mid lane and their safe lane, technically, while Unique just looks for opportunities. But if Empire does a good job and just doesn't get Orchid pick off here for a bit, then everything's going to be pretty fine. And I think that's part of the reason Empire's sitting near each other so much. They're waiting until Void gets his Eul so that he'll be protected, and then they'll try to sit around anybody else that ends up being vulnerable. The only person that's really farming aggressively is Axe. He takes the dangerous place. Naga is going to deal with the tri-camp stuff while she's farming defensively and hard to pressure. So generally, like, the Orchid's really quick, but Empire's still out farming their opponents.
It is nice to see this map movements, knowing that the Orchid's going to be online, that they play so tightly together, other than the Axe, who does just finish the Blink Dagger too, so I wouldn't be surprised to see some movements coming out for that as well. But they have split up now that we say, like, oh, good job, you're all grouped together. They have split up quite a bit, though, now. Naga hiding over on the side here. They ping it out.
It's just really hard to get over to that area of the map, and if you don't chain stun her, she songs, and their whole team responds, and you die and lose heroes. So it's very dangerous for them to engage like that. And they don't have a fighting item on Wraith King yet. He didn't go Armlet first, so his ability to contribute to fights is a little bit weaker than normal. But I don't blame him for going Radiance, but there's just like a little bit of a weak timing here for Unique if they haven't found these like Impale ganks with Orchid. So they're definitely not feeling like they're pressuring hard enough. Not quite. I think they just finished Blink on Sand King at least.
They did.
So that's one upside, but they got to be careful here. And they want to get kills, but it's hard.
Nope, that's not a courier. There it is. There's the little Phoenix courier delivering the special goods now to Ghost Stick, so he's got that blink. But they're hunting here on the side of Empire. They know Palantimos has been up here. In fact, there it is. Petchar blinking forth. They even use the Serpent Wards. So they'll go get the Shackle off, hoping for some nice spins. But the follow-up here from Ghost Stick right onto the backlines. Lands on 3 of them. They'll go down to the Reincarnation. Big ol' Ice Blast coming in hot and lands over on at least 2 of them as Petchar running for his life. Ghost Stick does go down. Can they finish them off, though? Yes, Death Prophet will go down. Sayur will shatter, and Petchar is just running for his life. So a very nice turnaround coming out from the side of Unique. They ended up losing the Wraith King Reincarnate, and they end up losing the Sand King, but they managed to get a couple of the heroes over here on the side of Empire.
Yeah, it looked pretty rough for them before that Ice Blast came out. The looked like they were going to have more than enough damage to clean up the Wraith King, but with Prophet coming in, he initiates, he silences the Shadow Shaman to stop that out, and this whole time, lots and lots of Sandstorm damage. So even though Sand King ended up dying in this circumstance, the right click was enough to deal with the Axe, and the Nyx was able to clean up the other 2 heroes. Oh, Axe actually lived there, my bad.
Yeah, I thought
Got
he
close,
might have
though.
gotten ice blasted, but it looks like he was right on the edge there. Otherwise, I think he probably would have died during that. And they're smoked up again on the side of Empire. So I like this. I like the fact that they know they have to be making space for this Naga. You've got a big ol' axe. You don't have the wards anymore. But they also have Gwynblythe coming. So this is going to be attempt number 2. And the step right in. They've got the shackles. This should be a dead Palantimos.
Yep.
Nicely
They knew that was
there.
going to work. On the opposite.
Oh! That's Smiling
Same thing.
Knight taken down.
That one looks pretty hard, actually. They just moved in this area and they did not have vision, actually. So that's where things get really hairy, because you're not 100% sure whether it's the real Naga or not, but they're able to commit everything in combination with the Orchid, it looks like, and score the kill on the Naga Siren. So I would say that's pretty worth it. I'm more worried about Naga right now than I am the Wraithing. Wraithing didn't have ulti there either, so, like, yeah, he dies, which isn't great, but I'm way more worried about Naga going crazy at this point in the game.
It feels like they don't have as good of solutions for Naga, right? You do have, you know, the Sand King was a nice pickup. You do have the Ice Blast, but...
Dire's courier has been killed.
Oh, that's the Courier slain here. Nice pick off here from Pikachu. They have a nice deep ward. Keeping tabs on
There
it.
was another one there, too.
Uh-oh.
Get it?
Uh-oh. Down goes Ghost Stick. I'm not quite sure what he's doing there. It's a little bit too far forward. But they'll use the Serpent Wards on the tower. They'll wait in position. They've already used the Ice Blast.
Under attack.
Yeah,
Wrath of
he's
Nature.
trying to just defend the tower, but yeah, definitely a little far forward. Usually you want to play in the trees with the Sandstorm. That way, even if they have the detection, they don't necessarily see you, but they ended up chain stunning him. Easy death, and now
they're hoping to get the jump on
towers.
Pikachu. Pikachu, do you know what lurks in the woods? Because they're moving up there real fast. We also have Bignum. He's doing a little bit of scouting. We'll see Gwynblythe is here. Petashar getting in position. Still don't see him just yet. Still have Bignum. Look at
They
Bignum.
might
Look
spot-
at this. If he finds him,
He might spot it. Here it comes. They're going to see him.
Ice Blast coming in hot over onto Petashar. They spot him out. They need to go, and oh, the silence, but the draw in. It was a trap here from Gwynblythe, but they just can't seem to get enough damage out as down goes Petashara. Gwynblythe trying to find this opening. Exorcism is going to get used. The silence is used over onto the Nyx Assassin. He's just going to have to scoot away, but it looks like his teammates are going to be able to leave without getting killed here.
Little lucky that the Ice Blast ends up spotting the axe there, but they had the heroes in position. Both teams, that could have gone both ways, frankly, based on their initiation. And they got a Death Prophet ulti out of it. I think that's good circumstance for Unique here.
Dire's structures
I
are
mean,
fortified.
yeah, that's the Exorcism not being able to take down buildings. That buys them some more time because the rest of the team, I guess aside from the Serpent Wards, right, not super great at pushing just yet.
That's definitely true. They're good at pushing waves. The Naga Siren very effective there. Kind of an interesting build on her, actually. The Midas and Demanta, not too weird, but going immediately into a heart. She identifies what's going to happen this game. If she just gets tanky,
That's a
very dead hero.
Yep. Bye-bye.
If she just gets really tanky, then she's going to be able to ensure that it's way harder for her to die in team fights, and her split push is going to be more obnoxious. It'll give them more space on the map. Kind of cool.
We get the BKB picked up now for the Nature's Prophet. Aether Lens picked up for Shadow Shaman. I feel like this BKB is a really big deal. Like, he's just getting his items so quickly.
He is, yeah. It's definitely very good. Not having to worry about Shaman, not have to worry about things like Ensnare or Death Prophet Silence. There's certainly a lot of Void Spirit, especially. He's definitely a guy that Void Spirit would love to kill, but having BKB is going to solve this. They might start having major issues with these Naga illusions, though. Already tons of armor on them, obviously, but on top of that, with the heart, they're just going to have an insane amount of HP. So, good luck killing those. Might be hard.
Oh,
they're going
Ghost
top.
Stick. Getting ready, goes for it, has the epicenter, Ice Blast coming in hot. Pikachu gonna join in as well, but that is a kill going to Slayer.
Dire's top tower is
It's
under
so important that sometimes you show kills like this, where you're like, we can kill your tankiest guy on the map. Because now they can't just comfortably sit top and say could be completely fine. And they really didn't contribute much to that. That was basically just epicenter.
They identify the fact that Palantimos is alone for the most part, but the follow-up is here. Another three-man burrow over Songs coming out, but Pikachu says, I don't care about this. They'll find a kill over onto the Shaman. Put out some more damage over onto Eckhart. Not quite enough to get the kill, but they'll turn this into a tower push. Song is down. Ice Blast is coming in. Can they land it on Gwynblythe? Oh, he dodges. He's gonna be just fine.
You can see the blast coming on your minimap, especially with True Sight. That you can see it, so I'm not surprised he dodged that one.
Yeah, but it's more
Why?
exciting
Say
to
that
make
it
it
was
sound
really
like
exciting,
he
like
might.
you just hyped it. You know?
Purge, please.
Sorry,
My
it's not on the
job.
map. It's not that hard.
This coming from the guy who never looks at his minimap.
I don't, but I'm saying, like, for players that have the presence of mind to be like, I might get Sunstrike, they can definitely, like, run down vision with True Sight behind him and get ready for that Ice Blast. So. Good for him, though. All right, they're smoking to take a fight here.
They are. They are hoping that they can get a pick off. So check the Roche pit first. Bignum's positioning so good here. He is going to be the one who gets taunted up, but he is your position 4, so he'll tank the gank. They'll grab themselves up some of these bounty runes, but that also lets them know exactly where all 5 heroes were on the side of Empire during that.
Is under attack.
Yep, still pushing the side lanes here. Wraith King's net worth is not looking amazing. He's getting pretty significantly behind the Naga Siren, but I mean, against the Naga, who basically has a completely free lane and Rush Midas and has been AFK farming the whole game, I am not too surprised. But again, Wraith King's impact in a team fight is generally going to be a little stronger in these like mid and late game scenarios where he jumps in and blasts somebody down with multiple stuns and a lot of physical damage. Maybe Naga can do the same thing, but based on her itemization. Oh, they're going top.
Oh, the jump over onto Gwyn Blythe. Let's the Ice Blast. Already use that epicenter, and he's taking a lot of damage. Pikachu, he's on the hunt. Tries to go grab him. Not going to be able to. Needs to be careful now. Eknart using the Exorcism, but where's the catch? They need some way to hold him into place, and they don't really have it, although Gwyn Blythe, he's turning right back around again. He's smoked up. BKB coming out from Pikachu, though. I think you're pretty happy about that if you're Empire. The blink away here from the Sand King. Everybody is just leaving the area.
Yeah, that's a lot safer there. He could have maybe TP'd right away, but there was a chance that Void Spirit catches up and yules him, so he just made the safe play, walked away, relied on Sprout, and gets out no problem. But yeah, a little bit of downside. Little Observer D ward by Slayer, that's a good one, knowing that if their opponents were walking high ground at the smoke, they're likely to place a ward there when they went for that kill. They got a pretty deep Observer behind the tier 2. That one could be significant later on when the Roche fight ends up happening. But for now, both teams pretty just content to hit creeps. Net worth is looking very even right now, so I think both teams have a great shot of winning at the moment. Naga queuing up a Butterfly next. That evasion is going to be hugely problematic for Unique, especially because they're already struggling to get kills on these Naga illusions. One upside at least, A's gotten hit. It's 20 minutes in. A's got his shard, so he's going to be the guy to deal with these creep waves now. And AoE magic damage over time that also lowers magic resistance will be an okay solution to helping to deal with the Naga Siren. But they definitely have. This is like the big scary thing in my opinion. Can they clear these Naga illusions decently? They don't quite have the items for it just yet.
About what timing do we want to see some of these items coming out so that way they can deal with this? Because obviously they're on a clock, right? Because, you know, yes, they have a Wraith King, but like Naga's just one of those heroes that it's difficult to deal with. She's going to get so tanky and she's going to be able to just push out multiple lanes.
I think it helps that Unique has enough burst damage that they can get kills across the map, because even if you can't necessarily deal with the illusions, if you keep like killing other heroes on the game, you're still like going at least even in net worth and keeping themselves together, which is basically what Unique has done the last like 10 minutes, right? We've seen a lot of like Sand King Burrow Strikes into epicenters with Ice Blast. We've seen like different variations of these kills. If they keep killing these other heroes, it's not that big of a deal that Naga's constantly pushing in lanes on the map. If the game is like, if they're not getting those kills and the lanes are being pressured in, then it feels like you're completely restricted from playing Dota at all. So if they keep getting kills, eventually their net worth will be high enough that it doesn't matter that Naga is like the one super farmed hero, because they will have eventually items that can deal with it. So I think what's crucial is they deal with it okay right now, and they also keep getting pickoffs. So if Empire can limit those pickoffs, their game is going to look a lot sicker.
And I think the other thing that's really, like, I really like watching Unique play the map is that they are moving as, like, groups of 2 or groups of 3. And even, you know, when the Wraith King is going down, like, they have just a really nice capability. If they still have, you know, for example, Ice Blast up, they're trying to Delta split, right? Because they know there's coming back up again, but they're just held in place for so long that it just looks so nice. Just, I love the way that they're able to have this global presence, I guess, is what I'm trying to go towards.
Yeah. It definitely makes a big difference. The Prophet's performance so far, 4-0-3, Pikachu's doing great. Obviously, I would have liked them to have a few more kills in the first, like, 15 minutes, but that was basically from smart Empire play. It's not because Unique didn't do the right things. So, gotta play things safe and anticipate that pressure, and don't let your opponents get super far ahead. And the fact that Prophet's been able to be close to Naga Siren in terms of far potential is very impressive, too. So
that's something I really enjoy too. Like a lot of times, you know, you'll see these games where they'll be kind of stompy and they're making a lot of mistakes. In this case, it hasn't so much been that they've made a lot of mistakes, rather that the other team is just playing so well. And I feel like it's so much more interesting to watch. But they do know that they're in their jungle. They walk right over a couple wards here. So be interested to see if they try to force them out or if they just try to mirror.
I think Empire is definitely a little bit concerned about taking a straight-up team fight. They can't run into Wraith King very easily because he's got his ulti response. Sand King is a really scary counter-initiation threat because whenever you go and kill somebody, you naturally group up, right? And then if at that moment, especially because you have like a good 10-second window after they initiate on Wraith King no matter what, he's going to be able to get there in time, and he's probably going to show up with an epicenter and catch a lot of heroes. And something we saw in that mid-fight, actually, after he goes in, he pops Sandstorm. It does not matter if he gets stung. He's asleep, and his Sandstorm is still ticking, dealing damage. So as long as they get, like, Ice Blast off after in that counter-initiation, the fight is looking pretty good for Unique no matter what. So look for these pickoffs. Keep your lanes pushed out as much as you can. Try to slow the game down a bit while you get your good Naga solutions. Pikachu might get gone on here, though. Got to be really careful.
No, Petrashara, he goes on the back lines because they found the Nyx Assassin instead, thanks to a nicely placed sentry ward.
Okay.
They'll
A
find
little
the kill.
dangerous to do that.
They'll use those serpent
He was
wards.
invisible. So
What?
now they lose the tier 2.
Oh, Eknar, a little bit off the mark here, Ghostic, but they've got the nice Vortex. They'll follow up with the Ice Blast. They'll land over here onto this Death Prophet, but the immediate counter initiation coming in hot here as Axe gets himself a nice dunk and takes out Ghostic.
A little unfortunate for them there. They did not have vision of Eknart there where that TP was being started. So as a result, he knew that he was being threatened, and it gave him some like knowledge that allowed him to juke the Burrow Strike. But missing that kill, they missed the Burrow Strike, they missed the Ice Blast. Pretty big mistake, because that's a 5-position hero. Like, you should have been able to kill him, and losing Sand King in response is going to hurt. So now they just get all this map control as a result.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh god.
Look at the placement.
He
Imagine
can't
just
see that.
walking
Oh, I guess
into
he-
that.
I guess he had vision because the
Because
shrine
the
was
shrine,
there.
yeah.
But still
If he
pretty
didn't, that's a beautiful trap laid out, for sure.
Butterfly almost ready for Naga. Only like 1,200 gold to go. So now things get really hard. Magic damage is how they're going to have to kill these illusions. Having AA definitely helps. Amplifying the magic damage you deal when magic is already going to be as counter helps there.
Well, they know there's a ward there now. Naga Illusions getting sent over to the side. Eknart gets spotted out by Bignum. They'll find the opening, though, over here, so they'll be able to finally take down this position 5, it feels like. Yep, Ice Blast is going to come in as well, landing over onto Windblythe. Palutima's getting into position here. Not going to be able to quite get the hit. They throw out those trees maybe a little bit too awkwardly. Rest of the team. The Hex comes out over onto Sand King. Oh, the song and the call, but things are just a little bit out of place. This Ghostic turns back around, has the Burrow Strike. They'll use the dust, they're chasing him down. Palantimos is gonna get held into place, but he's still gonna be able to get the kill on Petshara. Serpent Wards are gonna get dropped. Ghostic needs to be careful, needs to get out of the vision here. Eknart should be able to go and chip him down. Pick him also to fall, but that's a big crit over onto the Shaman as now Pikachu is gonna have to teleport out because they don't have anything to cancel. Oh, he's not gonna be able to, it's too much damage from Empire. Man,
Well,
that
they
fight.
They threw their own fight, but they still ended up winning in the end. Like, everything looked really bad for Unique, and I saw the song come out, and I was like, wait a second, that's not good. Axe missed a giant call on 3 heroes, and they had Sand King disabled on the high ground. It looked perfect for them, but either way, the fight was still won. A lot of spells were used to kill the Death Prophet. He utilized buyback very well there, shows back up to the fight, and definitely helps Impact by securing that Sand King kill among some other stuff here. Slayer, we'll see if he gets out. They're hunting for him. I don't know if you realize. We'll see if he puts a Vortex on the creep, but that'd reveal that he's here, obviously. But yeah, he's not
He
gonna
knows
do it.
that he's
Doing the
being
smart thing.
chased.
Doing the safe thing. He's definitely going to stay, though. He'll probably, especially if they find, they have to find DP, they're going to go for it.
Hiya, Eknart, what you doing? Cold feet into the hit, the stun. And they're just
Doesn't have Ice Blast just yet. Okay.
They're gonna let Ghosty grab it. But is going to get immediately followed up here with the Axe, and they'll be able to get the kill on Ghostic, so perhaps a little too chill about that, but the Shaman goes down on the back lines. A lot of little scraps coming out here. Palantimos gets rooted up into place. Gotta fight these Naga illusions, and they're tanky. We talked about this. Chase is on, going up into the high ground here. Pikachu and Bignum looking, but Windblythe throwing out the Aether Remnant, dragging back a Palantimos. These illusions are just so hard to take down with what they have right now.
All right, they finally clean him up a little bit. But yeah, really hard for him to engage the Naga right now. His armor is not massive. He's got Armlet, which helps a lot, but yeah, their raw damage is huge, and they've got Butterfly, so he's missing a lot. Definitely not. I don't think he's going to want to buy MKB. We're probably going to see the same thing we see in Wraith Kings lately when they needed evasion. solutions, they just buy Rapier eventually. So for now, Palantimos is just going to be aiming for the supports or for any cores that are disabled.
I feel like Rapier has just become so much more and more common. You remember back in the day when you pulled out a Rapier, like, oh my gosh, it's go time. Like, you're so excited. Now it's like, he's just going to get a Rapier as part of the build now when you're going up against Illusion Heroes. It's like, ah, man.
His defense, it's a Wraith thing. You've got a built-in Aegis, so it makes a lot of sense.
True, but it's just not as exciting anymore, Purge.
I mean, people still buy the Rapiers sometimes. I saw some good ones in NA at times.
Oh yeah, oh my gosh, the game last night too with the 2 Giants rings. And it was like a 67-minute game? It was like ridiculous.
That's fun.
That was fun.
I think Axe has been doing really good this game so far. He's always consistently punishing Ghostic. They've got Yule Scepters, which they need to solve some of these issues, but if Axe calls you, there's always Disable follow-up. The Void Spirit's always there to deal a lot of damage immediately afterwards, after he gets a catch, and that's making things easier. Ceremonial Robe is really good this game for Team Unique. Lower magic resistance by an extra 10%, like it's going to make it a lot easier to deal with these illusions.
They're all grouped up. They'll go for a smoke play. All 5 on the side of Empire. Creep forward, head towards the castle area. Shaman throwing up a ward up top. They've got vision here. They try to go for Bignum and they miss. They're a little off the mark, but they should still be able to get the kill. Ice Blast does get tossed out. Over on the side, they'll end up losing Petashar. Smiling Knight, she's singing. She's trying to get out of here. The ghosts are going off though on the back line. She's left the rest of her team behind. Looks like Bignum will fall. They'll turn back around. The shackles coming out from the Shaman. Wraith King just trying to do as much damage as he can. He does not have enough though, especially with that Ghost Scepter. So he's gonna go down. Pikachu goes down. Ghost Stick also. And now it's just Wraith King against the world. Petashar goes in for the dunk. Down goes the king. And into the Roche Pit goes Empire.
It looked kind of good for Unique there. They dodged the initial engagement. They got to Yules the Nyx to buy him some time, but the overall raw damage is just way too high on the Empire side. Between Exorcism, between all the Naga illusions, it's just way too much damage. Just can't clear these illusions. They can't kill the Naga fast enough. There's just so many problems that they're encountering here. Like, yeah, they can blow up like one guy, but it's also that Unique is never the one initiating in these big fights. It's pretty consistently Empire who's going to be the start again. Gets lucky and dodges the call. He gets a Yules off to buy him some time. The Ice Blast comes in and actually hits nobody except for Axe. That was probably one of the crucial mistakes here. Axe buys back as well. Nog is able to get out due to the spider legs, and at this point, everybody on the backline is just being destroyed by the DD on Void Spirit, by the wards, by the Exorcism. Just way too much damage. They have to get like 1 or 2 crucial kills at the start of these fights on the Unique side. Otherwise, the fight's going to feel way too difficult.
Should they have been more of the aggressors on the side of Unique? You know, you talk about the fact that they all ran together as 5 and got this really nice fight, but, well, that's a dead Twin Blythe at least, so, you know, they'll take that. There's an axe completed on Naga now, too. Yules comes out over here onto Pikachu. The draw in. Petashar waiting over on the side. Is silenced up, taunted. He's got the Mjolnir placed down. Goes to the BKB. He's taunted in, though. And down he goes as the Shaman maybe a little bit too far forward here, but look at Slayer. He's like, I can't help you. I'm sorry. He'll draw right back in over here onto Bignum. There's going to be a net. Follow up. He still has the Yules. Buys a little bit more time, but not nearly enough, although it's a nice impale. It's a good try. He eventually goes down. Ice Blast does land on the Shaman. Not quite enough damage, though, I don't think, to do anything significant.
Game is real hard now. They do not have good illusion solutions. And he's got +1 illusion. He's got the Manta. He's got the Ags. Ags now, he can net through BKB even when he's songed.
This is not looking super great here for the Wraith King, although it looks like they'll respect it. He's a fortification on Timos. He's going to be able to walk away for now.
Was okay. Having the AC makes a big difference. And the Paladin Sword. He's got a lot of lifesteal right now, like over 50%. But Rack's probably going to die.
I'm not sure about this Palantimos. There's a lot of CC here. In fact, he is going to have to use that reincarnation as he was chasing after Eknar. And they'll follow up. Petashar waiting in the perfect position. Ice Blast coming in hot. And it doesn't quite manage to land on them, though, as now the Wraith King's going to get held into place. He's going to go down a second time. No buyback on the Wraith King. The drawback over onto Bignum. We're going to see Ghost Stick buying back, as now it's not looking too good for the Nyx, but they do manage to find a kill over onto Eknar. But look at this Naga. She's so massive. It doesn't matter about the Sprout. She's got spider legs. Pikachu, he's being chased by these illusions. It's not even the real Naga. He can't deal with them.
Radiant's bottom barracks
They just can't deal with these. Look at this. A bunch of illusions just forcing 3 heroes, pretty significantly farmed heroes, into the fountain because they just can't deal with it. I mean, that Hex, I think the crucial thing that I gasped about was Shaman's Hex on the Sand King was excellent in that last fight. Somebody report that guy to Overwatch because he was clearly scripting. Prevented the Burrow Strike immediately after the Epi came out, delayed his Sandstorm from coming out. All of this is very crucial towards delaying things. I think the hero that's felt a little bit weak is certainly the Sand King. I like the laning stage stuff you can certainly criticize Ghostic for, but other than that, like, they've been locking him down consistently. He does not look like a tanky offlane hero. He's like an initiator, but that aspect of him has felt just not strong enough, basically, to justify him being the offlaner. So, like, it's just not enough tankiness on the unique side, and they're not initiating, and as a result, that's what makes this game so hard. But it's hard to find good initiations on the enemy team, especially against the Naga Siren. So I'm sure they're up against the wall with how difficult this is, but they need to be the ones to initiate. It's really important.
All right. Well, hopefully they'll try to make a play, try to use that. You know, I talked about the fact they have this very global presence. I'd like to see them continue with it. It felt like they kind of took their foot off the gas pedal, and Empire just started grouping up and making some very nice moves. So let's see.
Part of that is the issues with pushing, though. If you cannot push out your lanes, it feels very difficult to get kills because a bigger percentage of the map is farther away from you to gank, and therefore, like, everything feels inefficient. You can't just, like, smoke from your side of the map, go deep in the enemy tri-camp, and hope that a carry is there. Because most of the time, it's not going to work. There's not going to be anybody there. So that's what makes it hard. You have less gank opportunities if the lanes are constantly pushed in. So the fact that they can't deal with the Nog illusions is a big reason why this game is tough.
All right, well, you know, tide's turning to their favor, perhaps, if they pick up a double damage run over onto Palantimos. They're still smoked up. There's also smoke on the low ground, though, here from Empire Ghostic, placing his body very forward here. They go for yet another smoke. They really, wow, that's like their third smoke that they've used?
Could be good.
Can they get anyone, though, is the question. They do spot out Smiling Knight. They know it's the real one. The smoke is broken. Gwynblythe, though, look at this positioning. Who can get the jump on who? And it's going to be the jump coming out immediately from Empire. And they'll get off the Exorcism on the back lines. The Hex will just hold him into place over there. This Wraith King isn't allowed to hit anything. Down he goes. That's going to be the reincarnation. Pikachu was chasing after the Shaman. He's not going to be able to quite find. The BKB is going to come out. Ice Blast gets tossed, but doesn't do anything here as Pikachu gets dunked. Gwynblythe sitting over on the back line. Turns back around. Drags right back in over here on the Wraith King. This Wraith King, you know, he has great items, but he's not allowed to do anything in these fights. They call the GG. They just realize they've got nothing to deal with this Naga.
Really hard.